Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sheetal Babar. In this session, we shall be discussing a female's property or Hindu female's property termed as Stridhan under section 14, and we shall then proceed with other sections which deals up with the provisions of devolution of property of a Hindu female who dies intestate. When we shall be discussing all of these things, what is important is to understand which and what all properties are considered to be female's property or property of a female. Another question is whether she has full ownership, full possession over the property, or are these limited estates. So, coming to this point, we shall be first discussing Section 14 of Hindu Succession Act, which precisely talks about what all properties are to be considered as a female property. Now, when it comes to Hindu personal law, which is of course a codified law, we always have a base of all of the traditions and all of the customs. So, when it comes to a Hindu female especially possessing the property, earlier it was a limited property of hers. So, say for example, in a joint family, she had just a right to maintenance instead of having a part in the partition. Under old orthodox Hindu law, under Mitakshara school especially, she was the one who used to only have a right to maintenance. Now, as per section 14 of Hindu Succession Act, we get all of these answers. The very first point to be noted under section 14 is, under section 14 of Hindu Succession Act, a female Hindu, obviously, has all the rights over the property which she possesses by various ways. Now, this section basically gives us incidences how the property can be received or how the property is acquired by a female, and which all amongst these properties are to be considered as full ownership properties. So, section 14 clause 1 gives us the very first point that by any which way a female Hindu receives the property shall remain her as a full ownership property, or shall remain in her possession as full owner of that property. So, no question of this being her limited estate. Second point is what all properties are included under Stridhan, because when it comes to full ownership over a particular property, especially we term this under Hindu Succession Act or under Hindu ideology as Stridhan. So what all properties are included? We have answer under section 14 clause 1. It states as to whether that property be a self-acquired property or an inherited property or acquired by any other devices. What are these instances of any other devices? Maybe by partition she receives certain property, say by gift she receives certain property, or by any another way she receives any property. All of these kinds of properties, may it be movable property or immovable property, may it be a tangible property, intangible property, may it be a corporeal property, incorporeal property, and all other kinds of properties which she might have received by inheritance or by any another legal mode of acquisition, all of these properties shall be considered to be absolute properties of a female, and hence we term it as a Stridhan, because she is the one who has all the rights over this property. And when we talk about all of the rights over this property, it means she has absolute disposal rights as well. But then, as in the second part of this session, we shall be discussing as to disposal or devolution of interest of the property of a Hindu female in case if she dies intestate. In all other cases, by will she can dispose of her property because that is her absolute estate. But in cases where she has not made a will or she has no any another provisions made for devolution of her property, absolute property after her death, question is what the answer for this, and the answer for this is in our next section. So let us start up with this next section. So the answer for this question we shall be finding out in this section. Section 15 of Hindu Succession Acts rather gives us a general answer to this question, that how shall the property of a female be disposed of when she has not made any provisions regarding to that. Section 15 gives us five general rules as to how the property of a female Hindu dying intestate shall generally devolve. So let us see what this section says. Section 15 clause 1 especially talks about these 5 sub rules. It states the property of a female dying intestate shall be devolved according to the rules set out in section 16, which are special rules, special stipulations as to how this property shall be devolved in accordance with all these 5 rules, sub rules under section 15. What are these 5 rules? First rule is, firstly, the property of a female Hindu dying intestate shall devolve upon sons and daughters of hers, including their daughters and sons in case of they being the predeceased ones or the one who are not surviving. I shall be discussing this point. Secondly, the property of a Hindu female or female Hindu dying intestate shall be devolved upon heirs of husband. So first is on the son and daughters and the husband. I just skipped husband. So firstly, the property shall devolve on sons, daughters and husband, while secondly, the property shall, if in case all of these first 3 category people are not available, that means they didn't survive this Hindu female, in that case the property shall devolve secondly upon heirs of husband. If any heir of husband also didn't survive this Hindu female, then the property shall devolve upon mother and father, of whom mother and father of the Hindu female who has died intestate. Fourthly, the property shall devolve upon her father. And lastly, upon heirs of her mother. So see, there are 5 rules. First rule is very simple, that it shall devolve upon her direct family. That means her husband, her son or sons, daughter or daughters. That is the first rule. Second rule is, if son, daughter, say for example, as in we always take the example of an accident wherein the whole family was traveling and all of them expired, or all of them met with death in that particular accident, then what? So the answer for this is section 15 clause 1 sub clause B. It says, if husband, son and daughter are not available, then the property shall devolve upon heirs of husband. And in that case, how will the property devolve? The property shall devolve as per section 15 clause 1 sub clause B shall be read with section concerning to Hindu male dying intestate. Section 8 to section 13 shall be applicable there in case of heirs of husband. Thirdly, the property shall devolve if no heirs of husband are also available, then property shall devolve upon the heirs upon her father and mother. Say in case even father and mother of this deceased female are also not available, in that case there comes a 4th category. And what is that? Heirs of father, wherein again all of those clauses, all of those sections relating to male dying intestate shall come into the picture. And lastly, even if there are no heirs present or available, or no heirs of father also survived this Hindu female who died intestate, then lastly it shall devolve upon heirs of her mother. So generally, half the property of a female who dies intestate shall be devolved upon others is simplifyingly as per the general rules preferred under section 15 clause 1. That is the first part. Now let us go ahead with the second part, wherein what are the specific rules of devolution of property mentioned under Section 16 of Hindu Succession Act. Section 16 gives us specific rules, because Section 16 of Hindu Succession Act specifies the order of succession and manner of distribution of this property among the available heirs. Now, who are these available heirs has already been discussed under Section 15. Clause 1, there is also Clause 2 of Section 15. However, we are precisely talking about the specifications, and hence general rule gives us five rules, five category of people under Section 15 Clause 1, stating as to son, daughter and husband is one category. Secondly, husband's heir are second category. Third category is mother and father. Fourth category is father's heir. Fifth category is mother's heir. So, as per this, how the property shall devolve specifically, or how the order of succession shall take place while distribution of the property of this female is specified under Section 16. And Section 16 gives us three specific or special rules to compute these orders. The very first rule states as to the property among the heirs or entries of heirs under Rule A of subclause 1 of Section 15. That means, who are these? Section 15 Clause 1 subclause A talks about the entries, three entries. Who are those people who acquire the property after death of this Hindu female? Sons, daughters and husband. So in this rule, as per Section 16 read with Section 15 Clause 1 subclause A, the property shall devolve upon all of these three entries simultaneously. That means, if a Hindu female A, as a Hindu female, she dies intestate, leaving behind her husband B, her son C and her daughter D. In this case, as per Section 16, Rule 1, the property shall devolve one-third upon husband, son and daughter. In the case where there are two sons, two daughters and one husband, the property shall initially be divided as one-third, and then it shall devolve upon, because these are entries. However, if we read meticulously Section 15 Clause 1 subclause A, it specifies the category as husband, son or sons, daughter or daughters. So again the picture is very clear. Instead of making one-third, the property shall simultaneously, when Section 16 specifies that property shall simultaneously be taken by all of those present in this entry 1, that means any number of sons, any number of daughters, it shall be equally and simultaneously distributed among the number which is present under Section 15 Clause 1 Rule A. So, if there are two sons, two daughters and one husband, the property shall be distributed as 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5 and 1/5, because there are 5 people. There might be 3 sons and 2 daughters and one husband. So in total there are 6 people. In this case, the property shall devolve or distributed. The shares shall be distributed as 1/6 to all of those 6 people. This is Rule 1 of Section 16 read with Section 15 Clause 1 subclause A. Rule 2 of Section 16 specifies a very certain condition. In case a son or a daughter or sons or daughters does not survive the mother, because this is female dying intestate. In this case, Rule 2 of Section 16 very specifically states as to if any son or daughter of the intestate had predeceased, that means has not survived the female, then their children shall jump into their shoes. So say for example, husband, one son and one daughter is the people who were supposed to survive this female dying intestate. However, son was predeceased and he was married. He has two children, one son and one daughter. In this case, now there is interpretation of this rule in a different way. When we discuss two sons and two daughters, we had husband, two sons, two daughters, 1/5 share. Now here, the share of son who is predeceased shall be fictitiously devolved upon him as if he is alive, and his share further will be equally distributed among his heirs. So, husband, son and daughter were supposed to survive this female dying intestate. However, son is predeceased, who has his son and daughter surviving him. In this case, the property, instead of distributing amongst 5 people, it shall be distributed fictitiously among 3 people and further simultaneously be distributed among those heirs whose father is predeceased. So, this is what Rule 2 speaks about, how the property to be devolved if in case anyone is predeceased under entry 1 of 15 clause 1 subsection A. Let us just go beyond this, and the rule 3 gives us an idea of 3 subclauses of section 15. It states the devolution of property of intestate referred to in clauses B, D and E of 15 clause 1. Now, who are these 15 clause 1, B, D and E? 15 clause 1B is husband's heir, D is father's heir and E is mother's heirs. So, how shall be the property devolved? The property shall devolve as if this property is respectively of a husband, respectively of father and respectively of mother, and the rules shall be applied in that way. That means, say for example, A is a female Hindu dying intestate. She did not survive, or her husband, son and daughter did not survive her. There are no sons and daughters because her son and daughter were not married, so there was no descendants available, and hence we talk about clause B. So what will happen in that case when son, daughters or no sons and daughters of these predeceased sons and daughters available and no husband available? We go on to clause B. In this case, the property, her property shall be devolved upon heirs of her husband. So while we distributing this property, we shall not consider it as to be a property of a female, because husband's heirs, in this case, we shall distribute this property as if this property is of her husband. And in that case, we shall be making section 8 to section 13 applicable. And in case of section 15 clause 1 subclause D, it states as to if none from clause A, B, C survive this female dying intestate, then the property shall devolve upon heirs of her father. In that case also, we shall be considering section 8 to 13 of Hindu Succession Act, because this property shall be considered as if it is the property of her father, which is to be devolved for in the next generations. Similarly, section 15 clause 1 subclause E states as to if in case of absence of subclauses A to D, the property of this female dying intestate shall be devolved upon heirs of her mother. In that case, the property shall be devolved as per these sections, that is section 15 and 16, but that property shall be considered as not her property, the one who is dying intestate, but the property of her mother, even in that case dying intestate. So this is what the property devolution of property of a Hindu female dying intestate, we make these rules general under section 15 and specific under section 16 applicable, and we devolve the property in that accordance. So this is all from my side about what is Stridhan, what are kinds of property which comes under Stridhan, and how the property of a female who dies intestate and who is a Hindu shall devolve upon her heirs. So thank you for today.